the creepiest movies to watch on Halloween. Halloween is just around the corner, and you know what that means. It's time to turn off the lights, grab some candy corn, and cue up the creepiest, spookiest, most bone-chilling movies you can find. Nothing gets you in the Halloween spirit quite like a horror movie marathon. Whether you're looking for jump scares, psychological thrills, or gore galore, the right scary movie will send shivers down your spine and get your heart racing. Welcome to Binge Film. In this list, we'll count down the 10 creepiest movies you need to watch this Halloween season. From sinister slashers to paranormal hauntings, we've got all the best films picked out, guaranteed to give you nightmare fuel. Number 10, A Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984. Kicking off our list at number 10 is the iconic slasher A Nightmare on Elm Street. This 1984 Wes Craven classic introduced the world to Freddy Krueger, the burned killer who stalks his victims in their dreams. With his signature bladed glove and striped sweater, Freddy has become a pop culture icon. Director Wes Craven builds a terrifying concept: a killer who can get you anywhere, even in your sleep. The movie has a dreamlike quality, with creepy visuals that stick with you long after the credits roll, ensuring you'll dread the idea of simply falling asleep. Johnny Depp gets one of his first roles in the classic bed kill scene. For supernatural scares with a side of 80s nostalgia, you can't go wrong with A Nightmare on Elm Street. Freddy may keep you up at night, but it'll be worth it. Number 9, The Cabin in the Woods, 2011. Coming in at number 9 is the clever meta-horror film, The Cabin in the Woods. On the surface, it's your typical story. A group of attractive teens heads to a cabin in the woods for a weekend getaway. But this movie has a twist. The unsuspecting friends have actually been manipulated into going to the place as part of a sinister ritual sacrifice. But that's a red herring too. Unbeknownst to them, a group of scientists have engineered the trip and are monitoring them closely. The movie pokes fun at horror tropes even as it immerses you in them. Just when you think you know where things are headed, it turns the script on its head. Without spoiling too much, suffice it to say that there might be a few elder gods involved in the plot. Yeah, it's clear that director Drew Goddard was having fun with the plot on this one. Full of unexpected twists and turns, The Cabin in the Woods breathes new life into the horror genre and gleefully deconstructs it, poking fun and honoring some of the most well-known tropes of horror flicks. The Cabin in the Woods will keep you guessing and laughing up until the very end. Number 8, The Shining, 1980. Sliding into number 8 on our list is Stanley Kubrick's chilling adaptation of Stephen King's The Shining. When Jack Torrance becomes the winter caretaker at the remote Overlook Hotel, it seems like the perfect chance to work on his writing. But we soon realize the hotel's isolation unlocks something sinister in Jack. Kubrick builds tension with his meticulous direction and the foreboding setting. As Jack descends into madness, his wife and psychic son try to escape. Jack Nicholson delivers one of his most iconic performances as Jack Torrance, swinging between sanity and insanity. From the creepy twins to the blood pouring out of the elevator, The Shining contains images that will stick with you well after All Hallows Eve. For psychological thrills and slow-building horror, make sure to revisit this classic on Halloween night. Number 7, Scream, 1996. Slashing its way into the number 7 spot is the meta-horror flick Scream. This 1996 game-changer revived the stale slasher genre with its fresh, funny approach that winked at every possible spooky movie cliché under the sun. A masked killer stalks a group of teens in a small town, forcing them to answer horror movie trivia to survive. Scream made it cool to showcase your scary movie knowledge again. While not the first movie to put the genre under a microscope, Scream made it cool to be a horror nerd. Neve Campbell delivers a star-making performance as the relatable final girl, Sydney, while Drew Barrymore's legendary opening scene sets the self-referential tone of the rest of the movie, even if it is surprisingly violent. If you're looking for chills and chuckles in equal measure this Halloween, cue up this horror hit for some meta mayhem. Number 6, Night of the Living Dead, 1968. Shambling its way into number 6 is the undead film that started it all, Night of the Living Dead. This 1968 cult classic invented the modern zombie genre as we know it. When Barbara and her brother Johnny are attacked by a mysterious ghoul in a graveyard, they flee to an isolated farmhouse. Soon, they realize the dead are mysteriously coming back to life to feast on the living. Director George A. Romero creates chilling horror on a shoestring budget, using the farmhouse setting to build claustrophobic tension. Night of the Living Dead introduced classic zombie tropes like the shambling ghouls and headshots being the silver bullets for the undead. Without this groundbreaking film, we may never have gotten today's popular zombie movies and shows. For a terrifyingly good time, watch the influential horror tale that inspired the modern zombie craze. Just make sure you barricade yourself properly first. Number 5. The Conjuring, 2013. Sneaking its way to number 5 is 2013's spine-tingling haunted house, flick The Conjuring. Based on a real case from famed paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren, this fright fest follows the Perron family as they experience increasingly disturbing events in their remote farmhouse. Desperate for help, they turn to the Warrens to intervene. Director James Wan ratchets up the tension, masterfully crafting chilling scenes with minimal gore. Between the horrifying occult artifacts and the creepy paranormal encounters, The Conjuring will have you watching through your fingers. Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga bring an earnest warmth to the Warrens amidst the terror. More than just ghost hunters, the Warrens are a loving marriage, and it shows in this movie. For old-fashioned haunted house thrills with strong performances, The Conjuring is a modern classic. Oh, and by the way, this movie will make you hate dolls. Number 4. The Exorcist, 1973. Crawling into number 4 is the undisputed heavyweight champ of creepy horror films, The Exorcist. When young Regan starts exhibiting bizarre behavior, her worried mother seeks medical help. However, it soon becomes clear that Regan is possessed by a demonic entity, and an exorcism is needed to save her life and her soul. William Friedkin's masterful direction paired with realistic performances ground this supernatural story. The Exorcist maintains an aura of chilling realism, even in its most shocking moments. Between the haunting score, revolting body horror, and distressing themes, The Exorcist sinks its claws into you and doesn't let go. This film ushered in a more raw, visceral wave of 70s horror cinema. 50 years later, The Exorcist retains its ability to truly disturb and terrify audiences. It also created some of the most unique horror scenes in cinema. Even if you've never seen the movie, you know about the head-spinning scene. It's just that memorable. Number 3. Trick or Treat, 2007. At number 3 is the frightful anthology Trick or Treat. This creepy film features a collection of stories that all take place on the same Halloween night in a small town. From a strict principal with a knack for punishment to a loner who hates Halloween, each tale embraces a different aspect of the holiday. The stories interweave and connect in creative ways, with the demonic trick-or-treater Sam appearing throughout to punish those who break the rules of Halloween. Clever, macabre, and featuring plenty of gore, Trick or Treat distills everything that makes Halloween fun into one stylish package. With great practical effects and a twisted sense of humor, this movie is perfect for getting you into the mischievous spirit of All Hallows Eve. Also, Sam's design is just perfect for Halloween. And if you think his burlap sack head looks cute, just wait until you see what hides underneath. Number 2. Evil Dead 2, 1987. Get your boomstick ready, because grooving its way to number 2 is the gloriously gory sequel, Evil Dead 2. This 1987 follow-up cranks the horror and humor up to 11, as Ash Williams once again must battle sinister spirits at a cabin in the woods. This is also a solid retelling of the events of the first movie, so most horror fans can just go straight to Evil Dead 2 if they want to get into the series. Director Sam Raimi packs the film with over-the-top visuals, from the evil flying spirits crashing through the woods to the creepily cackling Henrietta in the fruit cellar. Bruce Campbell delivers an iconic performance as Ash, turning him into the hilariously clumsy hero we all love. With chainsaw-wielding, shotgun-blasting action, and fountains of fake blood, Evil Dead 2 is an insanely entertaining ride for this Halloween. Number 1. Halloween, 1978. Taking the top spot on our list is none other than John Carpenter's seminal 1978 slasher Halloween. This indie smash not only defined future slasher films, but codified Halloween-themed horror as we know it. The haunting piano theme, the autumn suburban atmosphere, and that pale white mask are all just perfect for a cozy and spooky Halloween movie marathon. When Michael Myers escapes from a psychiatric hospital and returns to terrorize suburban babysitters, no one is safe. Carpenter expertly turns the everyday neighborhoods and homes of Haddonfield into the stuff of nightmares. Despite its low budget, Halloween delivers relentless suspense and the ultimate final girl in Jamie Lee Curtis's Laurie Strode. For the ideal mix of scares, atmosphere, and Halloween spirit, you just can't beat the movie that's literally called Halloween.
You've been watching Binge Film. Don't forget to like and subscribe for all things movies.